Hey, hi guys. Hello. I think there's no one there. I'm doing this live stream. So, first of all, happy holidays for all those that celebrated Thanksgiving. Probably you are all fed up. Tons of turkey and tons of. Let me just first. Uh, for all of you that probably ate a ton of turkey and also probably got a ton of deals on Black Friday. Hopefully, you have a lot of new gear in your setup. Today, for you, I have for Thanksgiving, I have a special episode where we're going to recreate the Sketch logo using Sketch. Boom! Like a little bit of inception there. And so Sketch recently changed their logo. And let me switch back here so you can actually see the screen. Um, mm, 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 Over there, let me switch it back. And okay, cool. So recently, Sketch changed their logo. So their old logo looks something like this, and then they went something a little bit more simpler with a little bit of gradients, and that's how it looks on the right. And that's pretty cool. I actually, some people didn't really like that the new logo, but I don't know. There's always going to be a, a population that is going to be like, no, I liked it how it was, and they're going to be a little bit afraid of change. I actually really love the new logo. It's pretty simple, and but it keeps the same. I don't know, feeling of the old with the gradients and the shininess of the of the diamond. And I don't know, I really liked it. And then I started wondering, is this a logo that I could recreate on Sketch, the Sketch logo? And I challenged myself. So I started doing it. Let me show you my process. So first of all, this is the original PNG from the website, and this is like me tracing it. So this is what we're actually going to do today. But before we actually do it, I just want to show you my process. I did it first. So I trace all the shapes. Here behind is the actual image, and then I trace all the shapes, and then after that, I started adding gradients and colors. So this is actually all these are shapes. So this is the one that I traced. And then after that, if you realize this is the original again, this is the original for comparison. It has like those little like outlines with shining. Let me. Hello, yeah, there's people here. Cool. So let me. Sorry, let me go here. Come on. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, you can see that there's. Let me put it back here. I just wanted to see if there were comments and there were people here. You can see those little shiny outlines here on the edges, and which makes the logo really pop and just like I don't know, makes it really particular. So I actually was able to kind of recreate it, and we're going to learn how to do that too. And it's pretty much I tried like using shapes, like line shapes like this, and then I realized like, oh, I could just use borders and apply gradients to borders, and we're going to learn that today. And I'm pretty excited to show you that. It's pretty easy. Once I did it that way, I was like, oh, my mind was blown. So let's go ahead and actually do it. So I prepared. I prepared, by the way, this is the card for today. I prepared it just like because they're tracing the Sketch logo using Sketch, and Leonardo DiCaprio's looking at me like, yo, what? Let's go deeper. So, and then, so here we are. So this is the original. This is a PNG. This is an image, as you can see here. Image. And we're going to recreate it. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to duplicate it. Just going to leave that just for comparison. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And the first thing that I want to do is make this, right now it's 192. I could keep it that, let's keep it at that size. And we want to lock it, but before we lock it, let's, I usually change the opacity to a lower opacity, just around 30%. That way I can trace on top of it and without the actual image being too obtrusive. So once I have it here, I'm going to lock it here on the layers list. So I just press Option and then here, and then I have the lock key. And now I cannot select it. There you go. I cannot select it, and I can start tracing stuff on top of it. Let me see if there are any comments so far. And then, hold on, let me see if there are comments. What do you mean by stroke? Oh, I meant stroke. I meant the border, the outline. So yeah, like any shape will have a fill and it has a border, fill and border. I meant stroke, but I obviously meant, I said stroke, but I meant border. Okay, cool. So let's start tracing this thing. So the first thing, I want to use the vector tool. So you can press V as in vector, or if you have it in your tools, you can just select it. So I'm going to start right away with this guy. Bow, bow. So this is so easy. That's a cool thing. There's a beauty about this, that it's just so simple. And then one cool trick. First of all, I'm going to round to pixels. Around there, probably I'm going to double click and move this just a little bit there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to make it perfect, probably you want to make the logo a little bit bigger, and that way you will have more pixels to work with. Okay, so cool trick, something that I do here, for example, I copy and paste shape, and now I have two shapes there, right? But this one, I'm going to double click, and then I'm going to actually move this little guy over here, and now it's here. You know, but I just used the same one, and I just moved one vector. That's a cool trick, right? I know you'll love it. Okay, cool. So now copy this one and copy V. That's Command V, sorry. And then I can just start like dragging this guy over here. And now I have all my shapes. If you want to get a little bit more perfect, probably you will want to make this even closer. I'm going to keep it like that for now. So I'm going to see if everything is, I'm going to double click outside. I'm going to see if everything is on round to pixel. Everything is, it looks like it's in perfect pixel. And then something that I want to do is the border, I want to change it to the corner of it, joins, to be like this. That way they join really well. Cool. So everything seems in order. Now I want to draw the triangle here, the triangle here. So let's go ahead and do that. I can use a triangle, just really quick, just around there. I think it's, yeah, I think it's good. Let me remove the fill. I'm going to copy it, paste it, just the same as before. I'm going to drag this point and da 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 da. There you go. Da, da. Do you guys like my my intro music? Let me put the intro music again just for you while I'm doing the rest. I'm supposed to know that. It's super cool, right? Okay, so now that I have this, I can duplicate this over here. So these shapes are the same as over here. So all I can do, what I can do is just duplicate these guys, and then group them, and then flip them over here. Flip them horizontally, and now that I have them, right there. Cool. We have our logo. I mean, we have all the tracing. So now we can start shading. So this guy, these, I'm going to leave them there just to keep them, and then I'm going to make a duplicate of this guy of the original over here, so I can grab the colors. Okay. The music. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. And so now we have this. We have all these guys. Probably some of these corners probably are not perfect, but they're almost there. Well, we're gonna make it a little bit more perfect once we get rid of the strokes. So the first thing is let's just start adding gradients. Let's see if you guys have any questions first. Hello, hey, love your tutorial. Okay, cool. I love you too, probably outline. Okay, cool. So if you have any questions, put them there and I'll try to answer your questions. So, okay, so now I'm going to start with this guy over here. As you can see here, it has, at least how I did it, is I apply one solid color and then on top of it, I apply a couple of gradients because you can see here that it's a little bit darker here. And I will say that it's a little bit darker here too. So I'm going to add two gradients. So first of all, let's add a fill. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just want to select this guy. I'm going to add a fill and I'm going to actually just select the color around there. So I have my vase. I'm going to remove the border for now. And now that I have my vase color, I'm going to add a gradient on top of it. And this gradient is like a black color. I'm going to make this black to black, and then the opacity change it to 0. So it's opacity 50% black over here. As you can see here, the alpha is 50 to black where the alpha is 0. So it's 50% to 0. And then I'm going to move it a little bit so it looks like this. So I'm actually going to move the gradient. And for that to work, to have the gradient so you can control it, you have to select the gradient over here from your fills. So I select it, and now I have control over here of these little handles that allow me to just move around my gradient. So it's around there. Obviously, it's not as strong as it looks here. So I want to change the opacity, probably up 20%. And it's close. Probably should be actually 10%. Nope, that's too light. Let's keep it at 20. If we don't like the 20 later, we can remove it. Okay, so we have that first gradient, and now probably actually I think that first gradient should. Yeah, no, I like it. Let's add another one. So first of all, I'm going to save this gradient that I just used. I'm going to save it here. I have it there. And now I can apply a new gradient on top of this here on my fills. I'm just going to press the Add New Fill. And then I'm going to select the same gradient that I just added before, but I'm just going to move this guy. So this guy should be around here. I think you can tell me later, hey, Pablo, no, that looks horrible. It should have not been there. I would love your input into it. Around there. I think so. I think it's around there. I might be wrong, but hopefully you get the idea and you can try your own. It's around there, I think. It's pretty close. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. The next one is going to be just one gradient here from the top to top left to the bottom right. And let's apply our base first. I'm going to select the color around here. That's my base. I'm going to remove the border. And then I'm going to add another gradient. And this gradient is going to be the same. It's just going to reuse that same gradient, the black 50% to black 0%, around there. I think it's around there. I might be wrong again, but you can try it at home and do your own. I think it's going to be around 50%, probably even more. Around there. What do you guys think? Yeah, it's close enough. Okay, let's move on to the next one. This one is a little bit darker, so I'm going to apply a fill again, remove the border. This is just it's repeat. Okay, cool. So now that I have this, I'm going to apply another gradient. Boop, add another fill. I'm going to select the same gradient that I used before, and this guy is going to come from over here to actually, it should be like this. So my dark color is over here, and then it ends around there. I think it's around there, yeah. And then I'm going to move it to 50%, probably is 40%. There you go, close enough. That's cool, right? We have our three colors, the first three colors. Now, we're going to duplicate this later, so it's okay if we don't have them for now. So I'm going to do this guy. This guy, I'm going to again select the base of it. The difference with this guy is that instead of just a normal gradient, a linear gradient, this is going to be a radial gradient. At least that's how I see it here. So I'm going to remove the border, and then I'm going to apply another gradient. This guy is going to be a white gradient. Instead of here, I'm going to make it a white to white. So this guy should be 0% alpha. And then it starts, let's say that it starts around 80% alpha, because you can see that it's actually pretty bright here. But instead of a linear gradient, it's going to be a radial gradient. Oop. So I think it should have been, this guy should be 80%, the one here. And then this guy should be 0%. And now that I have my my circular gradient, I can move it around, can make it a little bit smaller, can probably make it a little bit more oval. See how it's, let me zoom in so you can see what's going on. There you go, probably a little bit bigger. And around there, I think it's close enough. What do you guys think? Yeah, right, it's pretty close. And now let's do the one, you have to press escape. Every time you apply a gradient, you have to press escape on Sketch. Okay, we have that. Now let's do this one. This one is pretty simple. It's just a linear gradient, as you can see here. Let's add our base. It's all about the base. Boom. Now we have that. Let's add another gradient. Let's use the same gradient that we used before. And obviously we want it to be like linear, 90 degrees, around there. Yeah, just around there. And probably the opacity should be 50%. That's pretty close. Look at that. We're jamming. We're really good. Look at that. And something that you're going to notice, these nodes, now that we don't have a stroke, we can see that probably we want to round to pixel. There you go. And then let's see this guy. This guy should be round to pixel too. I'm pretty sure it is. There you go. So now it should be perfect. And then over here, let's do the same with this guy. Round to pixel. Let's just press escape. Do the same with this node. Layer, round to pixel. Perfect. Wow, that's so cool, right? There you go. So now I have all my edges in place. Probably I need to, yes, they look pretty good. Okay, cool. So let me see if you guys have any comments. Hello from Brazil. Seems interesting. Thanks. Multiply. Yeah, multiply. I'm not using multiply because since it's Gabriel is asking me to use multiply. But since I'm just using black, there's no real need to use multiply. But if you want to change the I think that there's no need to use multiply. If I were using a different color than black, then probably yeah. But if you want to change the layer blending of your fills, you can do it here instead of normal. You can go to multiply, darken, or you can make it lighter, screen, dodge, all of these guys. And then if you want to get funky, you can start overlay stuff like that on these guys. It's pretty much just like the ones you find on Photoshop or Illustrator, which are pretty cool. So, but I don't, again, I think I don't need to because I'm using black, pure black and pure black. So pure black will give you the same results as using multiply. Okay, so now that we have that, we can start adding our little, what do you call these? The strokes that have a gradient. You see here, this guy, you can do it multiple ways. You could probably do it with another shape on top of it and then apply gradients to that shape. But what I'm going to do is something a little bit easier. It's just applying a border. So the first thing that I want to do is apply a border to this guy, to this little guy, outside. And then I'm going to apply a border outside to this guy too. And now we will have these lines and these lines. And then I'll apply another one to this guy. So let's see how that works. Okay, so I'm going to apply a border to this. I'm going to keep it at 1 pixel, probably 2 pixels. Let's do it at 2 pixels instead of center. Let's do it outside. As I was telling you, probably we want it to be all the way forward. Probably not 2 pixels. I think 1 pixel should be fine. And then the border, instead of this guy, I'm going to do this guy. No, actually, I think that guy was perfect. Okay, there you go. So now we have it. Let's change it to, instead of a solid color, we're going to change it to a gradient. And then the gradient, a linear gradient. And then this guy should be white, alpha 0. You're going to see why in a moment. And then this guy is going to be also white. And then alpha, let's keep it at, I don't know, like 80%. It's pretty bright over here, so probably should be 100%. Let's keep it 100%. We can tone it down if we need to. So now that we have it there, we can just like move it around and just like make it almost there. There you go. So you can see how now it's getting closer, right? Let's apply. I'm actually going to save that. Oh God, I'm going to save that gradient. I'm going to add it here. Just have my new gradient here, and I'm going to apply it to this guy over here, the one in the bottom left. I'm going to apply the border. I'm going to change it to gradient, and I'm going to use that same gradient than before. But now instead of from the bottom, it should come from the top. And let's move this guy in front of the other guys. There you go. So now we have this. Probably this one should be, instead of 100%, we can change it to, I don't know, what do you think? Instead of this 100% should probably be 60%. Yeah, it's a little bit closer. I think this one should also be less than 100%. So, oh, where is that coming from? There you go. Let's change it to 60%. A little bit closer. There you go. Again, it's not perfect. that that does not look good, huh? So, wow, that looks horrible. Hold on. How did I do it before? How did I do it? Hold on. Mine actually looked not too bad. Let's do it again. Let's keep doing this. Uh, I don't know what I don't know what it is. I think it's more about the actual uh, the place where you keep this your notes. Anyway, let's keep it like that. You can get a little bit more perfect. Just for the sake of the of this trial, you can learn how to do it and you can perfect it on your own. Okay, so and I'm doing outside, by the way, instead of inside, because inside doesn't work like that. It just gives me a solid color instead of the gradient. And I would love to for it to work inside, but it doesn't give me that result. So that's why I'm using outside here on the border. And okay, let's change it. I'm going to change it back to 80%. I don't like it anymore. There you go. Cool. And then, oh, you know what? What would be good? Instead of here, let's say if this helps. Nope. No, that doesn't help. It was good like that. I'm just making a mess, aren't I? To change to 100 because I don't like. I think it's pretty solid here. It's pretty solid here. So I'm going to just change it where. What did I do? There you go. Around there. Okay, cool. So now that I have these, I want to add another one to this guy. So I can do it to this. To this is like another border, so I can have this, or I can have this. I'm going to add it to this one. I'm going to do the same, change it to gradient, change it to white, and then put it over here where instead of from the top, it starts from the, sorry, instead of from the bottom, it starts from the top. Around there, it's pretty, see how solid it is here? So I'm trying to recreate that. There you go. So now it's pretty close. It's not perfect. I'm pretty sure you guys can do it a little bit perfect. I'm going to group this, guys. Sorry, not this. Only these. I'm going to group them, and then I'm going to duplicate them and flip them. Now that I have them flipped, I can just align them almost there. Perfect. And it's, again, those points not perfect. I'm pretty sure you could do a better job at it. It's just I don't think we have time for me to be pixel perfecting everything. But it's possible. You can see here in the example that you can get it there. This is the example that I did before. Here, it took me a while to get it perfect, but I'm pretty sure you can do it on yourselves. I had a link to the to this Dropbox links to this file so you can look at it. And now something else to finish it up is this little gradient here. So you can do it two ways. Let's do it both ways. So we can do it, by the way, I don't like this point. This should be a little bit lower. Dos, tres. There you go. And then this guy. I'm going to go ahead and, sorry, this is a dos, tres, and then there you go. Close enough. And now let's, for this little shadow, we can do it two ways. We can, let me remove the border. Let me add probably, why is it, oh, the opacity is 10%. Apply again, and that way you actually, let's try to do that. So the first thing that I do is, let's have it over here so we can actually see how it is. I'm going to remove the border, and instead of a solid fill, I'm going to apply a radial blur, a radial gradient, sorry. I'm going to put it to the center around there, and then I'm going to move it around here. And then I'm going to the first color is going to be a little bit darker gray, probably mid gray. And then this guy over here is going to be a medium gray. Uh, 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 uh. Sorry, I should actually do it all black. All these are blacks and just different opacities of blacks. Sorry, that's how you should do it. I'm going to add another color here, also black, and then this one is going to be 0%, one on all the way to the edge. This one is going to be around, what do you say, 40%. Yeah. Why is it not doing it? Dude, change the opacity to 40%. There you go. And then this guy is going to be probably 50%. And not perfect again. Probably this one should be, instead of 40, should be probably 20% or 30%. There you go. Again, this is one of those things that you probably want to do on your own and keep trying until you get it perfect. And this is around there. Want to do it here. I'm going to do it a little bit bigger. Probably you can, even to this, you can apply a Gaussian blur, probably 1 pixel. And then it gives me a little better result. It's probably too dark. I can move the whole thing a little bit lower. And we're going to keep it as that. Again, this is something that you can do by yourself and you can get it perfect, just right. But for now, we just want to learn how to apply that effect. I'm going to move it all the way to the back. We got it. So there you go. This is your original, and this is the one we just traced. It's pretty close. Again, all these effects here, you can probably in Illustrator, you can get them just perfect. But here on Sketch, you're gonna have a little bit of a challenge to get them right. And that was the challenge that I wanted to have. Can I recreate the Sketch logo on Sketch? Okay, so I'm going to save this file. And now you'll be able, here in the description, you're going to be able to have the one that I first tried, then the one that we just did here. I would love for you to probably give it a try. This is the one we just did here on the live stream. I'm going to group it. And then if you can get this a little bit better, live stream, I would appreciate it if you can. Okay, so let's go back here to my comments. Try moving the PV up and right, see if that helps. Yeah, seems interesting. Thanks. Okay. Okay, let me move my this guy over here. Okay, let's move over here. By the way, I don't know, you ate a lot and you got a lot of good deals on Black Friday, and hopefully you are with your family enjoying life and everything else. Okay, bye-bye.